Welcome to Wedding Matters. This is a platform where we discuss everything about wedding, beginning from the planning to execution. Welcome. We'll be right back. So today we are considering one very important issue that a lot of persons have not been able to prioritize, including event planners. It's no longer news that in this part of the world, especially in Nigeria, security issue is one of the things that is on burner as far as this country is concerned. But you discover that at individual level, especially when people are planning events, this is not taken into consideration. And as a result of that, criminally minded individual has decided to take advantage of that, especially during wedding reception. You discover that you be hearing issues of missing phones, bags, cash, ATM cards, and so many other things. And it will be very disappointing for you to invite someone to your event, and at the end of the day, the person will return sad. So it's very important that while planning your wedding or your event, you should be able to take this into consideration, knowing fully well that security is very important issue. It's not just to eat, to drink, to dance, but what about security issues, which should be considered very important. So today we look at some of the things you need to know about security, what you need to put in place in order for you to have a most memorable wedding event. That's talking about a memorable day, because like I said, wedding is once in a lifetime, so it should be a memorable day. At measures you should put in place while trying to plan your wedding. Number one, first you need to check the hall. What's the security situation of that area? That's that environment. Is it the security risk in that area, is it very high? Is it the flashpoint for criminal activities? So you need to find out about that environment. And then the hall itself, number two, you need to find out, does it have security, internal security in place? And then also, does it have security gadget like CCTV? Is it being installed? Are they, if they are being installed, are they working? Then do they have a parking space for your guests to park their vehicle, especially if you are expecting a large crowd that may be coming with their vehicle? Because you know, in some event centers after wedding, you discover that persons vehicles have been burgled and their valuables taken away. So do they have a parking space that will take care of um vehicles that are coming to that wedding? You need to find out. And then also you need to find out, does the hall that they are going to use, does it have entrances? How many entrances? Is it just one, or there is a back door in case of emergency? There should be an exit door. These are the things you need to find out. And then also you need to also find out if they have previous event in that place. Do they have a case of invasion of unwanted guests? So you need to find out. Then another thing you also need to do while parking, do they have a pass that they will be given to drivers? That's a tag that will be given to drivers, so that they won't have a situation whereby some persons will come and get away with people's vehicle. So you need to find out, do they have a tag in place? If they don't, then you need to look for solution, which we'll also discuss that in the course of this. Personally examine those things, or your events planner has personally examined those things. Then if those things are not in order, either you put them in place. For instance, if there is no tag for vehicles to be issued to drivers, that's your guest, you can do that personally. You can customize it. And if they don't have internal security, you may think otherwise, or probably you look for another hall. It's not just one event center. Like in Lagos here, we have so many event centers. It depends on your choice, so you can actually look for alternative. Then another thing you also need to do as far as security is concerned in wedding reception venue, you also need to be very careful of your valuable. For instance, on your wedding day, you don't need to hold your phone. That's why you need to have a best man. That's why you need to have a chief bridesmaid. So they are the ones that will most of your valuables, talking about phones and all those things, should be in their custody. So they are the one that will actually take care of that thing. That's why you need to watch my video, who you should choose as your best man or your chief bridesmaid. So because I believe all your calls should be are taken by them, because why? You trust them, you know them, and they know you, and so you can actually share some level of information with them. Then number three, another thing you also need to do is that, for instance, your event planner needs to know who will actually take care of the money. That's this is Nigeria. Anywhere in South Africa, we spray money. We love spraying. There is no wedding you go that you won't see people spraying money. In fact, it's one of the number one thing people actually look out during wedding reception. So you need to let your event planner or whoever that is in charge of managing the place, because I know you are not the one that will take care of that. So you should know who and who is actually picking the money while being sprayed. I have two incidents. Then some years back, that should be like 7 years ago, I attended events, and after the wedding, my dear, do you know they didn't know who packed the money? Because as they were packing the money, some other unwanted guests also helped in packing. At the end of the day, someone collected the money and left the place. It was after they have watched their video that they discovered there was a man who also seems to be actively involved in the activities of the events, and then he went away with the money. So you need to let your event planner know, or event manager know who and who. So you should appoint at least two, three persons who should be in charge of that. Then number three also, please, during that period, advise your cameraman, that's your video man, let the camera be on all through that dancing session. Let the camera be on, because for instance there was this event that happened last year November. I managed an event, and then do you know what happened? The gate man of the chief host, that's the groom, was actually picking some money while they were spraying, and then pocketing some of those cash. So in the course of it, when we were reviewing the video, we discover, and then at the end of the day, the man later confessed that he packed some of those money after he has seen the video evidence. So you need to let your event planner know who and who you have appointed to take care of that, because it's part of the things that we see in this part of the world as a level, or as a result of high level of poverty, and then for some persons who have criminal minds to go into events places to do some of those things. You also need to do is that, as a couple, peradventure you spot someone that seems to be very, very involved in the activities and is unknown to any of you, please inform your best man or your event manager to please politely ask the person to identify his or herself to you, to him rather, or to her rather, should introduce herself, and then that should be done politely, because maybe second or third cousin to either to the bride or to the groom. In this part of the world we have that. So please, if you spot anyone like that, ask your event manager or your best man to politely make inquiry from him, so that you won't have a situation where strangers will just come at the end of the day taking people's valuable away. So do that. Thing you can do if you have your event, their wedding reception is going to be in a place where it's highly populated, and there's always invasion of unwanted guests in such area. You can organize for bouncers. You can organize for bouncers or security guys to take charge of that, either at the entrance, the gates, or the entrance, to make sure that you don't have unwanted guests invading the place, thereby making the place uncomfortable for the people you actually invited for the event. So you can get bouncers or security guys to take care of. You also need to do, peradventure, if you are expecting a very large crowd, like I said earlier, you can organize internal security, especially for car parking. Very, very important. Here in Lagos, there are so many cases like that where people park their car and go to wedding reception or other events, and coming out, either their cars will be boggled or their cars will be taken away. That will be very, very unfortunate if you experience that. So arrange for external, that's your personal security. Then number last now is that you can also make your wedding strictly by invitation, strictly by invitation. So you code it, you code the card anyway, customize the IV. Either can be soft copy or hard copy, but whichever way you tally it or customize it. The number last is that like the scripture says that except the Lord watches over a city, the watchman wake but in vain. So most importantly, you must pray for that day to be a secured day, secured environment, everything to move smoothly because security is of the Lord. No matter how you may think you can provide security except God. So you must commit that day. You must commit the event into the hand of God to take care of every security situation while you handle the ones you think you can handle and then allow God to take control. I believe you will have a memorable day on your wedding day. Thank you. But if this is the first time of seeing this channel, please do well to subscribe so that next time we drop a video, you'll be next to see. And I know that you will have a very, very wonderful wedding day. Thank you.